renewal of mind and reconfiguration of our thoughts that we are able to position ourselves to receive all the blessings that God has set aside for us. For it is not us who are waiting for the blessing, but rather the blessing that is waiting for us to be in the right frame of mind to receive it.
I hear a clarion call. It's time to rise and shine. Time to get what's mine. Yeah.
Dai family, and welcome to another episode of Dr. Mumbi Spiritual Show. I don't know what you want to call it, but my name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? Although this literally, I'm sorry about this leaf family. Let me just move across a bit. This literally could also be a Ask Dr. Mumbi, because a lot of you have been emailing me about families. But the reason I've decided to talk about this family is because it's something we really need to address. And it's been on my heart for several months to talk about the toxic African family dynamics that currently exist, that don't make sense, where we've carried traditions and yet we're following parents and grandparents who have sold up to the Babylon system. And the reason I'm even saying this, family, I don't want to create any kind of disharmony in families or create any kind of issues, but it's because over the New Year's, I met an old friend, someone I hadn't seen for several years, from a very wealthy family, has had the best in life family. And guess what? He took the poison. Because I was just like, because we used to hang out back in the day, and I was just like, oh, I mean, of course you didn't. Of course you didn't take the poison. And he's like, oh, actually I did, mother, family. And he looked at me like, with such arrogance. And I was like, oh my God, like you guys have just ended your bloodline because in a bid maybe for the mother to keep the son safe, she gave him the wrong information that will now turn him into a transhuman. These are the days we're in, family, where mothers literally 2020 and 2021, the decisions that were being made, and even most of 2022, was whether people would take the mark of the beast or not. And mothers forced children to take it. Husbands forced wives. Wives forced husbands. Wives took it secretly without their husbands knowing, and then, inoculated their husbands. Because if you slept with someone who had been inoculated, you immediately got inoculated. I mean, people lied about it. But it's not even about those dynamics. It's the African family dynamics, where for so long, Big Mama knows best. Mom and Dad know best. And I'm not trying to create any family issues, family. What I'm trying to say, and this isn't even for the under 18s. My channel anyway is an adult channel. But for you guys who are out here in your 20s and your 30s and even your 40s, family, some of you even in your 50s, and you're allowing the more ignorant members of your family to drive your family ship, to navigate the destiny of your family, you are literally allowing your family members to get the mark of the beast, family. I mean, now it's too late. It's already been done. But there's a lot of people who are still very disconnected. For us who are the so-called black of the sheep of the family, when we tried to share information about what was really going on, we got it so bad. Family relationships were broken. Aunts and uncles started saying we were crazy. And sadly, some of those aunts and uncles are not there today. Because it turns out that the crazy ones were actually telling the truth. So family, it's every man and woman for themselves. Especially now. I've been saying it for the last 2 years. We are in Judgment Day. We were in Judgment season now. I mean, Judgment Day happened. And the judgment is the choices you're making, because there's two worlds here right now. And many of you are at a crossroads. And it's not the big decisions it is actually the big decisions. But you see those little choices that you're making daily? They lead to those big decisions that determine whether you end up in the New World Order or the New Earth. You see, they groomed our parents and our grandparents and our uncles and aunts, and even some of our siblings are so in the system. So you have to see, we can't be like, oh, that's my elder, I have to respect them, I have to do what they say. No, but we have to say, okay, I'll respect you, but I'm going to research into that and do what's best for me, what spirit tells me, what my spiritual team tells me. Your spiritual team should have the ultimate authority in your life, not your family. And I'm not trying to create issues here, but I'm saying that a lot of people really don't know what's going on, especially those ones who have benefited from Babylon, have gotten their big jobs and their big cars. They don't want the Babylon world to end. They don't want the matrix to collapse. So if Babylon says get jabbed up, they're getting jabbed up. And they're advising everyone else to do it. In some cases, even forcing others to do it. And they don't know that they're making their people take their own family take the mark of the beast. And there will be judgment for that as well. There will be judgment for that. But you have to be now in a position, family, where you're making decisions for yourself. Because some of you are way better informed than a lot of people that you yield your power. Because now it's about power. Are you yielding your power to ignorant family members, to the system that hates you? Or are you controlling your power and allowing your power to dictate your actions? When we were still somehow connected to our past, Mama could say, go do this, and you do it without even batting an eyelid. But we're not in that age anymore, family. And they said in the end, father will fight against son, mother will fight against daughter, family members will just, and of course they've gone for the family since day one. And we've tried to maintain those family structures when the entire world has changed. And those family structures, some people that, you see, we gave our elders respect not because we had to, but because also they earned it. They moved a certain way. They were of a certain consciousness level. They were filled with spirit. They were filled with wisdom. They were moving in a spiritual way. They lived in spiritual times. So the way they were living was so different, family. And they could have our respect because they had the most wisdom, which they were passing down to us. They were the teachers of the past. But most of our family members yielded those. Even our relatives who are brothers and sisters who are our age, maybe some are older, maybe some are even younger. Some, you have to realize, how brainwashed are they? That's how you have to start looking at people, especially family members, when they're trying to tell you do this or do that. How brainwashed is this person? What kind of reality is this person living in? And what's best for me? And even those of you who are, the Most High, maybe you don't believe in the spiritual team, but you got the Most High, you're connected to the Most High. Ask the Most High to reveal to you the kind of actions you should be taking, what you should be doing, family. Because the toxic African family dynamics are destroying us right now. And that, do as I say, whether it's an informed decision or not, is taking lives. There are so many died suddenly situations, and I wish, family, you would even just go and research. Just watch this one documentary called Died Suddenly. I think you can find it on BitChute or whatever. You definitely can find it on YouTube. And look at the pandemic that's going on. Look what's happening with people like Pfizer. Look at what's the narratives that are out there, the alternative news that they're not promoting. And family, please, I really hope I've made sense. You have to stand in your own decisions. And if you have a bully for a mother or a bully for a father, or sisters or brothers who try and like twist your hand, then just move in silence. As I say, if you don't have the strength to say your no out loud, at least respect your no inside. Respect your no with your actions. Because you guys, some of you are making decisions not only for yourselves, but your children. Because the most ignorant member of the family who happens to be in the church committee, who just shows you how brainwashed they are, who is totally deluded from reality, is the one who is dictating where your family is moving, the direction your family is taking. Like someone wrote in the comments, and I totally found it why would you share this? But anyway, I'll share it now with you because she shared it. And she was like, hey, Dr. Mumbi, I was watching your show and my aunt passed and said, or her older sister or someone was like, oh, you're watching that crazy woman again. To her, I'm crazy because, and I'd rather be crazy to someone like that, family. Appear crazy to someone like that because they're totally out of their freaking minds to me. They're totally insane to me. I don't even want my energy mixing with the religious folk of this world. And the sad thing is, Babylon rewarded those who became the best clones. Because you have to recognize, family, that some of your family members are not real Africans. They're clones. They're totally cloned Europeans. They're total Oreos. They totally bow and believe in the Babylon system. They're totally ashamed of their own culture. They'll even ask you, why are you wearing your hair natural? Why are you not wearing makeup? Why don't you have nail polish on? Hey, you're looking a bit rough. At least put some lipstick. Those kind of there are clones in families now. Maybe actually that's what I'll talk about. I really hope this made sense because this is such an important message and someone needs to hear it. And sometimes, guys, you guys write me pages of emails. I don't know, my aunt did. I only read the first paragraph. I have to conserve my energy. So this is a collective answer to all of you. That you have to be in your... Why do you think I keep talking about being in your own narrative? Molding your own narrative, creating your own story, creating your own storyline, family. Because many people don't know what's going on. They're believing what Babylon has told them is going on. But they actually have no idea what the truth is, and they hate the truth. Because Babylon has made those people who are in the matrix hate anyone who is not. It's totally crazy. We're the most hateful people, even in the YouTube streets, are the so-called Christians. They're the ones who will say, you're going to hell, you're perishing, repent. And yet they totally miss the concept of Christ, of the Christ consciousness. So don't follow your ignorant family members blindly, family. Know what you know for yourself. And if you don't have the strength, because of the many complex family dynamics that you find yourself in, to say no privately. And it's because, there's a young sister who emailed me and she was talking about how, I think her dad, and sorry for sharing the story, but no one knows your name, but I think it's so important. She's in her early 20s, and her dad helped her find a job, but she had to produce the certificate of the inoculation in order to get the job. And she's done all her research. She's a young adult. She knows the agenda. Her father is in probably his 50s, 60s, has no clue, has been a church elder. I'm just adding flowers because so many people find themselves in this story where the parent is well-meaning, but they have absolutely no idea what is really going on with Babylon and everything. You've seen the movies, you've seen the signs, you've read all that information, so you're way more informed than them. But of course, she was under his roof, I think, and all these things. So she almost has to follow the rules. So then what do you do? Rules, as I watched something yesterday that said rules were made to be broken. So I advised her to get the certificate without the, what I mean? And you keep it moving and you keep that as your secret and no one else needs to know. That's how you have to be wise now. You have to move smartly. Don't provoke those family members, because some of them are so toxic, and if they feel that you're in any way against them, then they'll bring it down on you so hard. And they're so narcissistic that they almost want to beat you into submission, mentally beat you into submission. I hope some of you are not getting beaten out there, will you? But they want to mentally beat you into submission. My no is no, my yes is yes. No, we're not in that world anymore, family. Those things will get you killed. Your fear will take you out. So have the courage to do the right thing, even if you have to pretend. Have the courage to do the right thing for you, to save your own life, for real, family. And learn to move in silence and share less. And you don't just instantly start sharing less. You just slowly start sharing less stories. Or as I said in previous episodes, pick a story that you're not as emotionally connected to and make that your story always. So that they don't know the deep things that are happening, your spiritual life, your inner life. But they know a random story that is really not even relevant. Because a lot of people that are heads of their family right now, that are making the major decisions for their families, sometimes their entire bloodlines, are not the most informed. And the narcissistic and psychotic nature of Babylon has made a lot of these people so self-righteous that they don't even question. They blindly obey. But those are stories for other days. Tuko pamoja.
Hear a clarion call. It's time to rise and shine. Time to get what's mine, yeah. And I want it all, beyond the riches of the world, to the promises of God for my life. So I'm saying goodbye.